Happy weekend from Fextralife. If you've been too busy to keep up on the latest in the games we cover, or are looking for a refresher, we've got your back. Let's take a look at the comings and goings across the Fextralife Wiki Network.
Moving like a soldier.
With Morrowind for the Elder Scrolls Online launching in just a few days, we took the time to break down the major changes that are coming to PC, PS4, and Xbox One with this expansion and its accompanying patch. One of the truly amazing and little known things that ZeniMax has done in the update is taking the exact map used in the Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind and duplicated it within the Elder Scrolls Online. Although the map is exact, what's inside of it is quite different indeed. Check out our video and companion article on the changes coming with the Morrowind expansion and its accompanying update. There are some changes to the champion system, Cyrodiil and PvP, general combat, classes and their abilities, as well as a host of other miscellaneous changes. In all, the changes are probably a step in the right direction for Elder Scrolls Online, albeit a small one, but we'll reserve judgment until we get some extensive time with the game on the live server. Square Enix has announced that the Platinum Games developed Nier Automata has shipped 1.5 million combined physical and digital copies sold. Talk about a surprise commercial hit for the follow-up to the more cult status original Nier game. The game reached the 1 million mark just this past April after releasing early March on PS4 and PC, so its attainment of 1.5 million is proof of its continued strong sales performance. We scored the game high in our review, finding that the game successfully blended modern high-speed action with old-school gaming elements like hidden secrets, multiple endings, and very quirky qualities that made it quite the unique game. If you haven't tried Nier Automata yet, it has a free demo on the PlayStation Store, which is one of the best free half hours of gaming you'll come across. If you pick it up, be sure to check out our beginner's guide and wiki for everything you need on the endings, quests, weapons, skills, and more, and check out our trophy guide to earn that tricky platinum. The first major update for Deck 13's action RPG The Surge is out now for players of the dystopic game. The game released on May 16th for the PS4, Xbox One, and PC, and the developer has been gathering player feedback and input since then, which have all gone into this first update. The patch makes several changes to the game, including enabling players to block most enemy attacks that were only previously able to be ducked or hopped. Lighter weapons will now be better at staggering enemies, making them a much more viable choice. Furthermore, various bugs and exploits have been patched, and some of the game's core mechanics have received some tweaks, such as hitboxes of enemies and actions that consume stamina. Overall, these tweaks aim to bring some refinement and balance to the game's visceral combat. The full patch notes are listed on the wiki for your perusal. If you're interested in learning more about this Dark Souls and Bloodborne inspired game from the creators of Lords of the Fallen, check out our review of The Surge to see what we thought about it. Hint, we liked it a lot. Monolith Productions and Warner Bros. Have announced that Middle-earth: Shadow of War will now have a release date of October 10th, 2017 for the PS4, Xbox One, and PC, which is a delay of 2 months from the game's originally announced August 22nd launch day. Shadow of War is a sequel to 2014's Shadow of Mordor, which caught gaming audiences by surprise with its intense combat and innovative nemesis system that created some emergent gameplay situations when faced with foes from past encounters. Shadow of War is looking to build on those core gameplay elements by adding more of an RPG framework, as well as an expanded nemesis system that features allies and loyalty. Did we mention Drake writing? Yep, there's that too. Check out our full preview of the game on the blog to learn more about how they're evolving the franchise. What are your thoughts on the delay to October? Let us know in the comments and keep checking back with us for more. THQ Nordic and Piranha Bytes have announced that Elex, their upcoming science fantasy open world RPG, will release for the PS4, Xbox One, and PC on October 17th. They've released a cinematic trailer with the announcement that sets up some of the game's faction-based story. The game will feature seamless open world gameplay, which lets you explore freely, even vertically via your jetpack. You will take on highly interconnected quests and encounter NPCs and factions that will all react to the choices you make, creating a dynamically changing game world. A collector's edition for Elex will be available, which includes a 10-inch high figurine of an alb mage, a 2-inch amulet in the form of a combat drone, a cloth map showing the world of Magellan, and the original score on CD plus an art book. Last October, inXile Entertainment announced the Wasteland 3 FIG crowdfunding campaign and quickly made their way towards hitting their goals for the next entry in the celebrated Wasteland series, a precursor to the Fallout franchise. The game is tentatively scheduled for release in 2019, and after meeting its initial funding goal of $2.75 million, it wound up raising a total of $3.1 million, hitting all but one of its stretch goals. One of the first goals was the Morningstar, a kami-loathing talking car companion which is certain to have a repertoire of biting quips. In subsequent updates on the game, using the Fig platform similar to their associates Obsidian's Pillars of Eternity 2 Deadfire, the team has revealed some of what they're working on. Combat, facial models, and locations are all getting some heavy development. The game has no release date set, but is already generating anticipation for what it's going to be adding to the franchise, especially multiplayer and vehicles. We're very excited to see it unfold, and we'll be sure to keep bringing updates as the game's development progresses. And speaking of Deadfire, when we last checked in with the crowdfunding campaign for Pillars of Eternity 2 from Obsidian Entertainment, they had just wrapped up their campaign with a resounding success of over $4 million raised by the end of February. Since then, the game went through a slacker-backer period, and the development team has been at work adding new features to the sequel to Pillars of Eternity, and sister franchise to last year's Tyranny. After hitting their initial funding goal, Obsidian proceeded to make their way through their stretch goals such as new subclasses, a new companion and companion relationships, more ship variety and upgrades, and other wrinkles and localization. In their slacker-backer period, they hit one of their new stretch goals, which was the addition of a crew you can hire and manage for your ship, which will be your roving base. From a design standpoint, they've been working on first and second passes on environments like adding lighting and elements, character components like base armor sets, dialogue for quests, and more. As it pertains to the world and flavor, some of the factions that will be present in the game were discussed, such as the Principe, Huana, Royal Deadfire Company, and the Valiant Trading Company, and they will give cultural and gameplay flavor to the game. There is no Pillars of Eternity 2 Deadfire release date announced as of yet, but we can anticipate it sometime next year. It's always a big deal for the RPG world when Square Enix announces a new game, and they have done so today with the announcement of Sphear, developed by the Tokyo RPG Factory who created the acclaimed I Am Setsuna. In conjunction with the reveal, they have released an announcement trailer for the game. The game will build on the gameplay system of I Am Setsuna, which we tabbed as one of our top 5 RPGs for March, with a revamped ATB battle system that allows players to strategize and adjust mid-fight. It will feature seamless environments and various locations to explore. Sphear will be available both in digital and physical format and can be pre-ordered exclusively from the Square Enix online store for the PS4 and Switch versions. Pre-orders will receive 2 music tracks as a launch day bonus. The game will launch for the PS4, PC, and Switch in early 2018 at a $49.99 US launch price. As crowdfunding continues to be an important early step for indie game developers, the various platforms are at times inundated with new games, many of which are mediocre. But every now and then, one catches a bit of fire and buzz as it barrels through funding goals. Blasphemous is one of such recent meteors. From Spanish developer The Game Kitchen, creators of The Last Door, Blasphemous is a 2D action platformer with an unmistakable Souls-like vibe that combines hack-and-slash combat with a rich and evocative narrative and non-linear levels. It is scheduled to release in Q1 2019 and has already met its Kickstarter goal and is surging past its stretch goals. Check out our mini preview on the blog where we take a look at its early story and gameplay, as well as a bunch of brutal screenshots. Blasphemous looks oppressive, heavy, and metal as hell, and it looks like it's going to be a blast in the vein of games like Salt and Sanctuary and the recently released Metroidvania Dead Cells. We'll be putting together a much more in-depth preview in the future once we've seen more of the gameplay and all that's inside. Final Fantasy XII has earned its place as a fan favorite of the long-running series, with many players counting it as their favorite to date. However, when the game released for the PS2 in 2006, it also received its fair share of criticism from the dedicated fanbase. The game was largely the first in the franchise to feature real-time open worlds and a real-time combat format. For some, this dramatic departure from the gameplay found in the franchise signature titles like Final Fantasy VII and Final Fantasy X was too much to accept. As a result, the remaster of Final Fantasy XII, called the Zodiac Age, was announced, and more than just a pretty coat of paint, the remaster is looking to make some significant overhauls to the game's core mechanics. Check out our preview of the upcoming remaster on the blog. Final Fantasy XII is a game that was ahead of its time, as many of its elements that seemed jarring then, open world, real-time combat, are commonplace in modern RPGs, including the Final Fantasy series. Releasing so late in the PS2's lifecycle certainly placed it in a tweener realm of gaming development because of its more forward-thinking concepts running on the limitations of older hardware. Because of this, the overhaul of the remastered treatment just makes sense. With modern hardware able to deliver graphical and processing power, and modern tastes looking for open, action-focused gaming, Final Fantasy XII The Zodiac Age is getting a second chance to make a first impression. From the looks of it, it seems like they're maximizing that opportunity. PlayStation 4 and Vita fans enthusiastic for what Sony will be announcing at E3 2017 will be happy to know that the PlayStation E3 experience is returning live to theaters. Theaters across North America will broadcast the conference live, helping to deliver the larger-than-life experience for those who can't make it to E3 in person. Those who want to attend will go home with a poster and one of the PlayStation collectible cards, as well as some digital rewards from the PS Store. Tickets are free and can be obtained on their website while supplies last. Attendees who have registered for a ticket will be seated on a first-come, first-served basis until the theater reaches capacity, so get there early because receiving a ticket won't guarantee a seat. Attendees must be 17 years of age or older to attend this event. Check out our blog article for a full list of every participating theater. So there's your opportunity to be up front and center to see what Sony reveals for the PlayStation. Bloodborne 2? Deep Down? Something else? Who knows? We'll find out in about a week. Do you love hanging out at Fextralife and want to help support all the great gaming wiki, article, video, and community goodness across our sites? Of course you do. That's why you're listening, right? Well, in addition to our VIP membership program, we now have a new way to help the machinations of the Fexes turn through our Fextralife Bonfire shop. Head on over to our shop and you can check out an assortment of Fextralife themed goods, all from the convenience of online shopping. These aren't just your run-of-the-mill items and accessories. In addition to t-shirts and hoodies, you can grab a dress, bed cover, clock, mug, throw pillow, laptop skins, phone cases, notebooks, bags, and more. We will be adding new designs as the weeks go, so keep the page saved for later reference, since you'll probably want to collect them all. We are also happy to announce that we've launched a new site-wide Discord server that consolidates all of our wiki and general chats into one convenient location. No matter what game across our network you're playing, or what you feel like talking about, we've got a channel for that. If you're a die-hard Chatango user, have no fear, as more popular wikis will continue to have a dedicated Chatango room as well for those hectic launches. If you want to play with Yuri, our helpful chat bot, who also features a bunch of fun commands and a comprehensive RPG game, sign up with our VIP program to get access to all the fun. As always, thank you for all of your support and for being a part of the best community in gaming. And that's a wrap for the Week in Wikis. We're looking forward to another great week of gaming fun. Don't forget to check out our VIP program for some exclusive supporter benefits, and budding writers should take advantage of our Become an Author initiative. Thanks for a great week, and as always, keep checking in with us for news, reviews, YouTube streams and videos, and general wiki goodness. Follow us on social media for all the latest and greatest. The more followers we get, the larger the army of the Fexes grows.